A 16-year-old kid standing over a final putt. The weight of the entire golf world pressing down on his shoulders, not just because of who he is, but because of who his father is. The gallery is silent, cameras everywhere, every single move being analyzed, criticized, compared to one of the greatest players who ever lived. This isn't just any tournament. This is the moment where Charlie Woods either crumbles under the pressure or proves he's got something nobody expected. 3 strokes ahead, 4 holes to go. And then something happened that nobody saw coming. What unfolded in those final moments didn't just shock the golf community. It made Tiger Woods do something he rarely does in public. Emotion poured out. The protective father who always shields his son from the spotlight suddenly couldn't contain himself. Because what Charlie did wasn't just about winning a tournament. It was about silencing every critic who ever said he'd never escape his father's shadow. It was about proving that legacy isn't a burden when you know how to carry it. What happened next changed everything. And if you think you know this story, you're about to discover you've only seen the surface. Before we dive into what really happened, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because stories like this, stories that show you the human side of sports legends, these are what we bring you every single week. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Let's rewind to May 28th, 2025. Streamsong Resort in Florida. The Team TaylorMade Invitational. Most people had never even heard of this tournament before that Wednesday. But after what Charlie Woods did, nobody will ever forget it. Going into the final round, Charlie was tied for second place, 9 under par. Right behind the leaders in a field stacked with some of the best junior golfers in America. We're talking about kids ranked in the top 5 of the entire American Junior Golf Association. The #1 ranked player in the country, Miles Russell, was in this field. Luke Colton, ranked 5th, was breathing down Charlie's neck. This wasn't some charity event or exhibition match where Tiger's name could carry him. This was real competition. Elite young golfers who had been dominating junior circuits while Charlie was still finding his footing. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Charlie entered this tournament ranked 606th. 606th. Let that sink in for a second. This kid who everyone assumes has every advantage in the world because his last name is Woods is barely on the radar of junior golf rankings. His best finish before this tournament? A tie for 25th place back in March? That's it. No major wins. No headlines. No proof that he could handle the pressure when it really mattered. Critics were already writing him off. Social media was brutal. People were saying he only got attention because of his father, that he'd never live up to the name. That Tiger should just let him be a normal kid and spare him the embarrassment of public failure. But Charlie Woods woke up that Wednesday morning knowing something nobody else did. He was about to show the world what happens when you stop listening to the noise and start trusting your game. The first hole, he comes out firing, birdie, then immediately gives it back with a bogey on the second. Classic Charlie, people probably thought. Can't handle the pressure. Can't string together consistent golf when it matters. But then something switched. Hole after hole after hole, Charlie started dropping birdies like he was playing a video game. 3rd hole, birdie. 5th hole, birdie. 7th hole, birdie. 9 holes, birdie. By the time he reached the 13th hole, he had gone on an absolute tear. 6 birdies in 9 holes. The leaderboard was flashing his name at the top. 3 strokes clear of everyone. Miles Russell, the golden boy of junior golf, 9 under, nowhere close. Luke Colton, 12 under, still 3 back. Charlie had taken a field of the best young golfers in America and left them in his dust. But here's where it gets interesting. Hole 13 bogey. The wheels looked like they might come off. The pressure of protecting a lead, the weight of expectation, the cameras, the crowds. It all seemed to catch up to him in that moment. And this is where most 16-year-olds would crack. This is where the mental game separates champions from everyone else. Charlie steps up to the 14th tee, a drivable par 4, 298 yards. Most kids would play it safe, hit an iron, make sure they avoid disaster. Not Charlie. He pulls out the driver and absolutely nukes it. The ball lands on the green. He two-putts for birdie, erases the bogey like it never happened. Ice in his veins. That's not talent. That's mental toughness you can't teach. 15th par. 16th par. 17th par. He's playing smart now. Protecting the lead. No hero shots. No unnecessary risks. Just solid, composed golf from a kid who's supposed to be too young to know how to close out a tournament. 18th hole. 586 yards. Charlie just needs a par to win his first American Junior Golf Association title. He hits his drive. Fairway, second shot, safe, third shot. On the green, 2 putts. Par. Tournament over. Final score? 15 under par. 6 under in the final round with 8 birdies and only 2 bogeys. 3-shot victory over a field that included 4 of the top 5 ranked players in junior golf. Charlie Woods had just done what nobody thought he could do. He won, but what happened next is what really matters. Because winning a tournament is one thing. How you handle winning, how your family reacts, how the golf world responds, that's what defines legacy. Tiger Woods wasn't at the tournament. He was recovering from surgery, dealing with his own physical limitations. Watching from afar as his son did something he couldn't help him with. No swing advice mid-round. No calming presence walking the fairways. Charlie was completely on his own. And when the final putt dropped, when Charlie raised his arms in victory, Tiger knew something had changed. This wasn't just a proud dad moment. This was the moment his son stopped being Tiger Woods' kid and became Charlie Woods, champion. After the win, reporters asked Charlie what it meant to finally break through. His answer, pure gold. He said, "Now I can say I have one, and Dad can't say I don't." Think about that for a second. A 16-year-old kid who just beat some of the best junior golfers in the country. And his first thought is about proving something to his father. Not in a bitter way, not in a resentful way, but in that competitive, playful way that shows how close they really are. Because Tiger has always been tough on Charlie. Not cruel, not overbearing, but real. He's never sugarcoated how hard professional golf is. He's never pretended Charlie would automatically succeed just because of genetics. And Charlie respects that. He knows his dad isn't going to hand him anything. Every achievement has to be earned. Tiger's response to the win was classic Tiger. Understated but meaningful. The headlines read, "Tiger Woods needs to make room on his trophy shelf for son Charlie." That's respect. That's acknowledgement. That's a father who understands what his son just accomplished and isn't going to minimize it. Because for Tiger, this wasn't about adding another trophy to the collection. This was about watching his son do something he'd been working toward for years, battled through criticism, fight through expectations, and come out on top when it mattered most. But let's talk about what this win really meant beyond just the trophy. When Charlie won the Team TaylorMade Invitational, his ranking in the American Junior Golf Association exploded. He jumped from 606th to 14th. Almost 600 spots in one tournament. That's not just improvement. That's a statement. That's Charlie telling the golf world he's not here to play around. He's here to compete. And suddenly, opportunities that seemed impossible before became real. Qualification for elite tournaments. Invitations to prestigious events. College scouts taking notice. Everything changed in 3 days. And the thing is, Charlie's journey isn't some fairy tale where everything goes perfectly after one big win. Life doesn't work that way. Sports don't work that way. Golf definitely doesn't work that way. Because just 2 months later, Charlie qualified for the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. The same tournament his father won 3 consecutive times in the 1990s. Talk about pressure. Talk about comparisons. Talk about expectations that are literally impossible to meet. Tiger at Charlie's age was already being called the next big thing. He was dominating junior golf in a way nobody had seen before. Charlie shows up to the U.S. Junior Amateur with all eyes on him, people expecting him to just waltz through the field because of his last name. First round, 81. 11 over par. Disaster. People immediately started the comparisons. Tiger never shot 81. Tiger won this tournament 3 times. Charlie can't handle the pressure. Social media exploded. Critics came out of the woodwork. See? We told you he wasn't that good. One win doesn't make you a champion. He's just riding his father's coattails. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But here's what nobody was talking about. The pressure Charlie was under wasn't normal pressure. His playing partner later said the amount of pressure on him is unbelievable. I can't imagine being in his shoes. Every shot analyzed. Every mistake magnified. Tiger Woods following him around the course, which sounds amazing until you realize it means every gallery member, every camera, every reporter is watching your every move. Charlie bounced back in the second round, 74, 3 over par. Better, but not enough. He missed the cut. Missed the opportunity to advance to match play. Missed the chance to prove he belonged in that tournament. And for a lot of kids, that would be the end of the story. Pressure got to him. Couldn't handle the expectations. Move on, but not Charlie. Because what happened next showed something even more important than winning. It showed resilience. It showed the ability to learn from failure and come back stronger. Fast forward to August. Junior PGA Championship in Indiana. Charlie shows up to this tournament with something to prove. Not to the critics. Not to the media. To himself. First round, decent. Nothing spectacular. Second round, he starts to heat up. Third round, he fires 9 birdies. Suddenly, he's tied for second place. 12 under par going into the final round. Legitimate contention, real chance to win. But more importantly, the top 2 finishers at this tournament automatically qualify for the U.S. Junior Ryder Cup team. That's representing your country. That's international competition. That's the kind of opportunity that can define a young career. Fast forward to August. Junior PGA Championship in Indiana. Charlie shows up to this tournament with something to prove. Not to the critics. Not to the media. To himself? First round, decent. Nothing spectacular. Second round, he starts to heat up. Third round, he fires 9 birdies. Suddenly, he's tied for second place. 12 under par going into the final round. Legitimate contention. Real chance to win. But more importantly, the top 2 finishers at this tournament automatically qualify for the U.S. Junior Ryder Cup team. That's representing your country. That's international competition. That's the kind of opportunity that can define a young career. Final round, Charlie shoots 74. 3 over par. Falls back to a tie for 9th. Doesn't qualify for the Ryder Cup team. Doesn't get the automatic spot. Misses out on being selected as the captain's pick because his ranking wasn't quite high enough. Another disappointment. Another near miss. Another moment where people could point and say, see, he's not good enough. But here's what makes Charlie different. He keeps showing up. He keeps competing. He keeps learning. Because that's what champions do. They don't quit when things get hard. They don't hide from pressure. They face it head on and figure out how to get better. September rolls around. Junior Players Championship. Charlie makes his second hole-in-one in 9 months. Not just any hole-in-one either. A perfect shot that shows his skill level is legitimate. October. South Florida PGA Junior Golf West Coast High School Championship. Charlie leads his team at Benjamin School to victory. Finishes tied for 4th individually with a 4-under score for the tournament. Another win. Another trophy. Another reminder that his victory in May wasn't a fluke. He's the real deal. And through all of this, Tiger has been watching. Not coaching. Not hovering. Not putting pressure. Just watching. Because Tiger understands something most parents don't. Success in sports isn't about pushing your kid to be a carbon copy of yourself. It's about giving them the tools, the support, and the space to become their own person. Tiger has said repeatedly, don't compare him to me because he's not me. He's Charlie. That's not false modesty. That's a father who knows the dangers of unrealistic expectations. Tiger lived through being called the next Jack Nicklaus. He knows what it's like to have the entire golf world watching your every move. He knows the mental toll it takes. And he's doing everything he can to protect Charlie from that same burden. But protection doesn't mean sheltering. Tiger still brings Charlie to the PNC Championship every December. Still competes alongside him in front of massive crowds and television audiences. Still exposes him to high-pressure situations where mistakes are magnified and successes are celebrated. Because that's how you learn. That's how you grow. You don't avoid pressure. You learn how to handle it. And Charlie is learning. Every tournament, every round, every shot. He's figuring out who he is as a golfer. Not as Tiger's son. As Charlie Woods, the golf world is watching to see what happens next. Will Charlie go to college? Will he turn pro early like his father did? Will he pursue professional golf at all? Or choose a different path? Nobody knows. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes this story so compelling. Because Charlie isn't following a script, he's writing his own. And Tiger, the fiercely competitive champion who hates losing more than anything, is letting his son figure it out on his own terms. What Tiger did after Charlie's first big win wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a grand gesture. It wasn't some emotional press conference where he broke down crying. It was simply making space, making room on the trophy shelf, acknowledging the achievement, respecting the journey, and giving his son the greatest gift a father can give, the freedom to succeed or fail on his own merit. That's what real support looks like. Not pressure, not expectations, just love, guidance, and belief. And for Charlie Woods, that might be the biggest advantage he has. Not his swing, not his name, but a father who knows exactly what he's going through and is committed to helping him navigate it without carrying him through it. So when people ask what Tiger did after Charlie shocked the golf world with that first big win, the answer is simple. He did what any great father would do. He stepped back, let his son have the moment, and quietly reminded the world that the best chapters of this story are still being written. Because Charlie Woods isn't the next. Tiger Woods, he's the first Charlie Woods. And that's exactly how it should be. Asterisk if you made it this far. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you think Charlie will surpass his father's legacy one day? Or will he carve out something completely different? Let's talk about it. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because we've got more incredible sports stories coming your way. See you in the next one.